Anything is possible. You can remove all obstacles. Anything is possible.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Self-Investment Academy podcast. So this series is going to be called Wednesday Wisdom. I was either thinking of launching my podcast on Mondays or Wednesdays, and I decided on Wednesdays. That's the hump day for most people during the week. They work Monday to Fridays, and they have the toughest time during that middle of the week to keep motivated or to keep on track. They get lazy, they get off their diets. So I thought, why not have a little motivation or some techniques on Wednesdays? So that I'm going to be launching every Wednesday a podcast. And then just let me explain what the Self-Investment Academy title means. So it means that you must invest in yourself to achieve the potential we are born with. This can be from learning, exploring, relationships, but most important, just taking time on yourself. So this can be from any aspect of life, from health to business, everything. So my podcast is going to be about life and business. So I'm going to have motivation, techniques on how to improve your life through positivity and hard work. There's going to be no cuts or stopping during this podcast, as I wanted to keep it as raw and straight from the heart as I possibly can. I do have some show notes, and that's just to keep me on track, but I do not want to like YouTube videos or other podcasts where people just cut it up just so it's more perfect, and they only want the words that they truly not really mean, but they just cut them up so it's the best part of that. So I'm going to get to who I am just to start off. My name is Bryce Dhillon. I'm currently a youth caregiver for a company called Access Family Resources. So this basically means that I take care of a child or youth from the ages of 12 to 16, and I basically just take care of them. They're normally troubled youth that have passed with crime or drugs, and I go work there for about 3 days on, 3 days off, and I take care of the youth. It's like being a father figure type of role and like a parent. So I help them with chores, I help them goal set, I just pretty much take care of them and all. I'm also going to school for teaching, and that is something I'll get into a little bit later about why I went to school and why I shouldn't have gone to school, but that we'll talk about in a little bit later on this podcast. And I just wanted to talk about a little bit about my past. I was a college athlete. I played basketball for a year, and then I turned that passion of sports into personal training, which I am pursuing right now, currently doing my personal training certificate. And I'm also wanting to get into a little bit more personal story about my past, where I got this passion to wanting to help other people. And that all came from my sister. She was our oldest sister. There's me and my middle sister Shauna, and then my older sister Stephanie, who passed away. And when she passed away, that's when a lot of my mindset and I would say work ethic changed a lot. I saw life in a different aspect, in a different way, and that's just where I just found what I love to do. And it was a blessing in disguise, I would say. I would absolutely do anything to have her back, but I changed my entire life for her now. So that's pretty much basically a little bit of my story, and throughout these podcasts I'll get into more about my past, or if you guys have any questions, I'd love to answer them. But for the first topic of the podcast, I wanted to talk about passion, and I think this is the best first topic that we can talk about, as it's going to relate to everything in the future podcast episodes. Passion is the biggest thing in this world that people lack. They always are doing jobs that they hate, that they don't want to do, so they don't do their best, aren't invested into it, and that's the worst mistake you can have. When you love something, you absolutely love it and are willing to do anything for it, and that's what people should be doing. They should be doing what they love. That's the biggest thing. You should be wanting to wake up and go work if you love your job that much. But that's what people mess up with. Now, everyone is always worried about money these days, and whatever job is paying the most is the career job I'm going to take, and that's wrong and not the way to be happy. Money will become the end product of following your passion. If you commit and give your time and energy to your passion, you will find a way to make it into money. And yeah, it's going to be absolutely scary. But you don't think everyone else was scared when they were following their passion? Absolutely every major icon you see, Bill Gates, everyone, they were scared. And you can lie and say, no, they had no fear, I wasn't scared. But inside, everyone has that little bit of doubt. It's just getting over that doubt and finding what you want to do. And that's the biggest issue that most people have. They'll work these 9 to 5 jobs, and I'm not saying 9 to 5 jobs are bad. There's some, if you love your job, if you love being an accountant, you love helping people with taxes, good. And if you're energized to go to work, that is perfect. That is what you should be wanting to do. But most people work these 9 to 5 jobs that they absolutely hate. They wake up and they don't want to go. And then you're late to work, you don't put in the 100% effort, and that's the biggest issue. Why would you want to wake up for the rest of your life hating to go to work? There's nothing worse than that. Now, there's going to be pressure from everywhere to be safe and do the average way of life. In my culture, it's basically a rule. You must finish high school and go to college. And in my opinion, this is where I'm going to get, where I was talking about why I went to school and now how I'm in school. And it's in my culture, it's the biggest thing. After you finish high school, you must go to college, get a degree, and then have a normal 9 to 5 job during the week. And I got certain, and I'm not gonna lie, some aspects of school I like. I like meeting people now. Like, I used to hate that, but now I'm not gonna lie, it's nice to meet new people and see where other people from different areas of life. But I got certain advantages from going to school. And like when I went away to Grand Prairie for school for a year, that's where I became a man. That's where I learned how to cook. That's where I learned how to clean. And I got a lot of things from it. But at the end of the day, I didn't need the education I'm getting. The things that I'm learning from college are not going to be transferred into my career. And the career I'm choosing, I didn't need my schooling. So before you go to school, think about it. Think about, is this what I want to do? If you need the schooling to finish your career, absolutely go. But it's just another certificate if you don't need it. And it's just, in my opinion, mine is not a waste because I am going to teaching. I want to help youth, and like I can use the teaching certificate as an advantage, and I will now as a credential. But at the end of the day, I didn't need it. And another major stepping stone is going to be the people that you love around you. And that's where my personal story. My mother, she's the most hard-headed person I've ever met. She's turning 60 this upcoming year, and she's still working 3 jobs. She has that old school mentality of how work is, and you were just supposed to work. And I know she loves one job, but the other 2 she doesn't, and she just has that mentality that you must work. And she was always trying to force me into getting a normal job, like going to work on the railroads. She wanted me to quit school and go work at CN just because of the money. And I always fought it back against that. I always said, no, I'm not going to be like these other people who wake up and are pissed off at their life. And I got in yelling matches with her, I'm not going to lie. And then luckily my dad supported me, and he still supports me. And my mom supports me as well, but she just wants me to be wealthy and to be okay by myself. I know that's her biggest concern. And everyone's gonna have that around them. Everyone's gonna have people wanting them to be safe, so they are not gonna lose in life. That they're gonna be okay by themselves. But why would you want to be making a decent amount of money and be mad and be angry and not be happy? And then that's where I'm gonna say that you might not know what your passion is. I didn't know till a couple years ago, and you might not know right now, but don't worry about that. Just take your time and it will show. The biggest thing I had was I wasn't happy with myself. That's where I figured out I wasn't happy the way I looked. Wasn't happy the way I acted. So what did I do? I changed every aspect of myself. I fixed how I looked. I'm not saying the outside. I'm saying the outside because my diet, all that. I'm not saying like imperfections. I got a big nose. I don't care about things like that. But I'm saying I wasn't happy. When you can change something like going to the gym and becoming leaner or anything like that, that's what I'm talking about. Fix your diet, be healthy, and that's what I changed. I changed all that, and then everything else changes around me. I changed my attitude. I started talking to people. I was always a shy person. Now I introduce myself to random people. Even if I'm scared, I just know I have to get over that fear and just talk. And then after I started doing that, I realized I loved helping people. That's what I wanted to do. When I could help someone else that I was in the same situation, change themselves the way I changed myself, that gives me the happiest thing ever. That I don't know how to explain it, but it just makes me happy on the inside. And that's what I want to do for everyone. And now, I want to leave you with a quote that I was reading from a book that it's called Live Happy, and it was just from a successful businesswoman named Carrie Stola, And she was a marketer who dropped her career to follow her passion of helping older adults becoming healthier. She said, "It was at that time I realized that money didn't matter. In the back of my mind, I knew that I would never last another 20 years doing something that was sort of meaningless." How true is that? If you don't have a meaning for your work, there is absolutely no point in doing it. And that is all I can say. It's going to be scary. It's going to have its tough times. People are going to doubt you. Everything, all that's going to happen. But if you have passion and you won't wake up and you put in every bit of energy, it will come through. And I'm not just making that up. You will be better at the end of it than where you started. And that's all I can really say. And I know this podcast is pretty short, but I just wanted to give a little introduction because passion is everything. That's one of my key values to life. And that everyone should have that for their career. And I just want to say one last thing. Remember, to be great, you must invest in yourself. Have a good day. Follow me on Instagram at Bryce Dhillon. Follow me on Facebook at Bryce Dhillon. And I will see you guys next Wednesday Wisdom. Thanks.